co-chairman and founder of IPCRI, Israel-Palestine Creative Regional Initiatives, and I'm also working in an American-owned Dutch solar energy company where I'm responsible for Palestine and Egypt.
Khatib, I live in Ramallah and I'm originally from a village near Jerusalem called Hizna, with my family living now. And I'm, among other hats, I'm a co-founder and co-director of Combatants for Peace.
Good morning, my name is Hamutan Gouri. I'm a resident of Jerusalem. I'm an active member of Women Wage Peace, and in this capacity I'm here today. And in my professional life, I'm the executive director of the Daphne Fund, which is Israel's first and only feminist fund.
Chairman of the Peace NGO Forum, the Israeli Peace NGO Forum.
Don't hear.
Chairman of the Israeli Peace NGO Forum, which covers about 120 NGOs and small organizations. Former co-chairman of the Bereaved Families Forum.
Shalom. I'm a psychiatric social worker, and I will speak about the project for the children in jail, Palestine.
My name is Baruch Shalev, and I'm the co-chairperson of Social Workers for Peace, Osim Shalom, together with Juliette Dabike, talented kids and adults, and she was set it up, and then she was the director general, and we are very proud that now she's the co-chairperson. I just want to say a few words about this wonderful panel. And it's not only that we are not alone, we are going to bring back our values to all. And yesterday we had a wonderful day with a full room all day. We had some pupils from 10th, 11th grades from East Jerusalem, wonderful kids, and they will come here today and they will give us the touch of, you know, but they really added some inspiration here also with their individual. And he created a revolution here with this institute. It's so alive. You have here people in black, Muslims, Jews, all, education programs, children, mothers, grandparents, many of the people in this room, and definitely a lot of your students were here yesterday, mentioned you, and he's also the laureate, the Israel Prize laureate from the times that to get the prize was really something.
She's a sociologist, and she spoke about the divisions that are happening in our world, how the English at one time started dividing India, creating the idea of division and grouping people, categorizing people, and eventually today we are in the same spot in Israel, which was very, very educational, very enriching speech. We had then four people who spoke, each one about his own subject, because it's so special, so different. It's not social work, but it is in general. It's the school that Baruch spoke about, Jerusalem. The children came up with the idea to have a bus with equipped with materials that they can move from Israel to Palestine and teach people in the Haisha how to prepare spirulina, which is very nutritious. The idea came from students in Tel Aviv who started doing this and in Africa, and they asked the Jerusalem Palestinian school to help them or partnership with them, something like that. So the school decided, instead of partnering in Africa, there's a closer place where the need is great, where children are deprived from food and education. So they decided to do it with the Deheisha camp and Aida camp. And this is a lovely program. They talked about their organization, and we had sessions with them. We had
we have to be effective. And Yael Berda talked about yesterday that when we have how we all suffer or we still pay the price for the British occupation, that they were the expert of rule and divide. And as a result of them, we keep up the system. And there are some things that in terms, I mean, her field is sociology. Sociology is like an institutionalized oppression, which is something that's created in the mind. I think it's a very important point, so I take another minute to, when you have a road, asphalt road, and then one day someone puts there a pavement, you change the situation. People don't notice, this is like a creeping change of the situation, but suddenly some people have to go on the road, some people on the pavement. So many of us notice that sometimes when we just react, for example, we react to racism, or we react to something like this, you are traitors or not traitors, we just strengthen the same argument. We have to go beyond this, to go to some kind of strategy that we are the one that it would be very beneficial if without finances and everything, if we can give the agenda, our humanity, our values, okay? So I would like us to share more from the heart here, really.
The psycho-social reports for children detained in custody while waiting for trial takes place within a complex psychopolitical reality. The psychosocial report group is a joint project for the psychoactive and social worker for peace. We oppose the occupation and believe that it is essential to bring it to an end. Injustice and damage we cause the Palestinian people, but also because we believe that being occupier corrupts us and seriously harms our own society as well. When we started our project, there were at any given amount 120 to 350 Palestinian youth residents of the West Bank who were detained or imprisoned in military prisons. Also, there are many youth from East Jerusalem who is also being detained. These youth are subject to Israeli law. This project focuses on the arrest and interrogation of children and youth in the occupied West Bank, who is subject to military rule and arrested and detained by the army and the General Society Services. To describe the project, its goals and underlying principles according to which we planned and implemented it, and coping as a community of practice that encountered both internal and external conflicts, and principle and procedures. Hearing from human rights lawyer Gabi Lasky about the violence of the detained children human rights in the West Bank, we thought that as mental health practitioners who stand for human rights, especially for children, we can harness our professional skills on behalf of the children and youth. We knew very little about the future efficacy of our reports, or even if they would be accepted by the military court. This project was created against all the odds, from a vision we shared with Gabi Lasky. It can be said that the group has implemented to create perception of critical and radical psychology, which try to challenge social convention and undermine the social status quo that serves the authorities, or as stated by Fox. Our ultimate political goal is to help to bring about a better society. Acting in 211, we felt the need to contact personal and social to professional and political needs. The objectives of these reports were: 1, to provide the lawyer with a document to be used to defend of the child's rights. 2, to humanize and personalize the minor during the discourse in the military court. 3, to bring to the court's knowledge the boy's age, social conditions, emotional conditions and needs, and the family capacity to protect and to take responsibility for him. 4, to use our reports to effect a change in policy. Principles and procedure. We knew that the youth went through maltreatment and were perhaps traumatized. We suspected that maybe it was not the first time they were hurt and humiliated by soldiers or other Israeli authorities or settlers. The situation these youth are living in 4 years exposes them either directly or a witness to many instances of violence and humiliation. There is a danger of part of them developing symptoms of PTSD, but without the P, the traumatic situation is ongoing in their environment, in the community, the family, and the child. The challenges of interviewing the youth led us to question ourselves as to what would be the best and most effective help. What would be in their best interests? How can we interview them without causing harm or traumatization? How is it possible to create trust and cooperation when our position vis-a-vis the detained youth is that of occupiers facing the occupied? In establishing our project, we were guided by several principles with regards to the youth. Basic conditions in which the interview is conducted, which generated some sense of safety and control for the arrested youth. These included privacy, no handcuffs, and unmediated presence, and respecting relationship. The interview was conditioned upon their own and their parents' agreement. We tried to minimize re-traumatization by creating an interview that was as different as possible from an integration. Our was always comprised of 2 health professionals for professional and emotional support. One of them speaks Arabic for direct communication with the youth and translation, and the other Jewish. And another report was also just Arabic one.
Laila, excuse me, how about
Time that I went to the prison,
גם טראומטי, גם
it was
בשבילי.
traumatic also for me.
קודם כל היה צריך
First of all,
לחכות
I had to wait
בחוץ
outside.
לפחות שעה, שעה
At least an
וחצי,
hour and a half
עד שנכנסים.
until you go in.
קודם כל יש צורך להיכנס.
Then there is a gate to go in.
למרות שקיבלנו אישור
Although we got permission
לפני
in
זה.
advance.
אז נכנסים
You go in.
כמה שלבים עד
A few
שנכנסים
stations
בפנים.
until you arrive.
אנחנו
דלתות ברזל?
מבקשים קודם כל, כפי
דלתות
שאמרתי,
דלתות ברזל.
דלתות ברזל, בטוח.
Each door is a metal door. You go a gate and then you go another one.
אנחנו ביקשנו חדר לבד, בלי,
Just a room.
איך שאני אמרתי לפני זה,
As I said before,
בדיוק,
in privacy.
ואז לא קל
It's not
למצוא
simple
ילד
to find a
שמאשימים
child.
מאשימים אותו בזריקת אבן.
Let's say he's blamed for trying
אנחנו ראינו
stone.
כמעט 20 ילד
We saw
בחמש שנים
We saw
האחרונות,
probably 20 kids in the last 5 years.
ורובם
Most of them,
זה האשמה, זה לזרוק אבן.
they are charged for trying
והם
stone.
יכלו להיות בין חודש עד כמה חודשים
And they can stay there for a month or many months
בכלא.
in the prison.
פגשנו ילדים מאוד עם טראומה מכל הבחינות, הם בקושי, הם היו נמצאים בחדר אחד עם 10 ילדים באותו גילאים נעים בין 13 ל-16
We met many kids in the same room, ranging between the ages of 13 to... כמה? כמה אמרת? סליחה.
מ-13 until 16.
Yes, in one